Have y'all ever had Anasazi beans? They're awesome. They look like this. They're kind of reminiscent of pinto beans, and sometimes you get a random pinto bean mixed in, but not exactly the same. Here I have an Anasazi bean slow cooker stovetop soup, and it's cold out, and I want to eat this, but I do not have 10 hours. I got this from Kaylin's Kitchen, and I'll give you a link in the bottom. So we're going to adapt this for the Instant Pot, because look at me! Here I am ranting at the camera, and I don't even know what I'm saying because I forgot to turn on my mic. I think I'm saying I'm tired and I don't have time. I'm starting this out the way I would any other time, and I'm sorting through my beans, and I'm going to rinse them because sometimes there's rocks. Exhibit A. Remove any rocks or weird looking beans and put the rest of them in a colander because we're going to rinse them off. Miss K, what do the weird ones look like? Like this. Like wrinkly, old looking, broken, the wrong color. Any of that. Get rid of it. Now if you're starting this the night before, you can put these into a container and soak them in water overnight, because it helps the cooking go a little more even. If not, you can go directly in the Instant Pot. You just don't get the same texture. You can also quick soak beans by adding them to boiling water and letting them sit for an hour. I'm tired and I ain't got time. Another thing we'll be doing is paring this down because I don't want to eat pinto beans all week. This calls for a pound, and I'm sorry I said pinto beans, Anasazi beans. I don't want to eat this soup all week, so I'm cutting it in half. So for this recipe, you need some diced celery and onion. My celery is frozen. I buy it and dice it all up or slice it all up and freeze it in little packets. I also have some onion. I did not freeze this because this will stink up your freezer. You can buy it frozen, or you can cut it up the day before like I did because I had something else that used onion. So I just went ahead and diced up a cup of that. So I have a cup of each, plus my half pound of beans that I soaked in water overnight. If you don't have time to do that, not a problem. Our handy dandy Instant Pot will take care of that for you. You just have to cook it longer. I'm also going to be using garlic, 1 clove, and some diced carrot and some cabbage. And yes, my refrigerator's freezing things, and this has happened before. My cabbage will be okay, guys, I promise. It looks kind of gross, but it'll be fine. We're gonna need some water, and you can put some spices in it, and then we're also going to be using some ham bouillon. If you don't have this, don't worry, you can leave it out completely, or you can use some chicken bouillon. We are also going to need some ham. I do not have any leftover ham. This is the perfect application for leftover ham. So I just bought some that's already cubed. I suppose you could leave this out if you're vegetarian. You decide. It's your soup. I also have a bay leaf. And then we have some our herbs and spices. I have salt, pepper, parsley. You can use fresh or dried. I have some salt-free seasoning. And you can feel free to add onion powder or garlic powder in place of the fresh or in addition to the fresh. So let's get started on the cook. Do y'all save your bacon grease? If you do, I think this would be a great place to put it because look at all this pork stuff we have in there. We got ham and ham bouillon. Why not add the bacon grease too? Let's start out by putting this on Sauté. And we're going to add a little bit of our bacon fat. Again, oil is healthier. I'm being extra, so I'm putting the bacon fat. Give that a chance to melt. To this we'll add our onion, celery, and carrot. Give it a stir. And let that cook down a bit. Okay, once this is kind of cooked down, I'm adding in my ham because I want to get like a browning on it. You wouldn't get this in the crock pot. So I just dumped in the whole package. This is like an 8-ounce package, which is significantly less than what it calls for. It's fine. I think it's plenty. Remember, recipes are suggestions. And then to this, we're gonna add in our clove of garlic. All I did was give it a rough chop. I mean, this is about to get pressure cooked. I think it's fine. It's not like you'll run into any large chunks of raw garlic. Let that sizzle away a bit, and then we'll add the beans and water. Give it a stir and get any of those brown bits up from the bottom. Then we'll add in the bay leaf. The rest of the water is 4 cups total of water, or ham stock. The finely chopped cabbage. The rest of the spices, and give everything a good stir. We're going to put a small amount of the bouillon paste. Remember, we can add more, we can't take it out. So I'm just putting a small amount. If you have a really good ham, you might not need that. You saw my ham. I'm giving this a stir just to incorporate that. We're also going to add some pepper. I'm going to hold out on the salt until the end. And we actually have some fresh parsley, so I'm going to dump that in. Look, we don't buy this. This is like the cheapest fresh herb. And we don't use it all because there's too much. This is what it looks like before you start pressure cooking. And we're going to pressure cook it using the bean stew button, which is about 12 minutes, and then natural pressure release. You can see that took about 37 minutes on mine, and this is what the soup looks like now. It's a hearty stew. Love it. I can see the vegetables. The beans are tender. All we have to do is taste this and adjust the salt or other seasoning if necessary. I do not understand how many people cook and they don't taste for salt. Please taste it and adjust your seasoning. And then fish out the bay leaf, and we're ready to serve. If you want to thicken this up, you just need a little bit of flour and some water. This. I'm going to switch to Sauté. What's that? No, that's the poultry button. I can't see. But you got to bring this back to a boil. Let it boil for at least 1 minute to get out the floury taste. Of course, I've got to make it pretty, so wipe the rim, and then let's top it with a few fresh parsley leaves. Along with a spoon of balsamic vinegar for taste. Looks good enough to eat. Let's give it a try. This is a hearty dish. Warming. Delicious. Give it a try. Check the description for the recipe and the link for my inspiration. Bon appetit, and I'll see you in the next video. Au revoir!